Good morning, students. This video is for grade 8th, subject science, block 25 natural hazards. We are going to start LP 1 and 2, that is lightning causes and effects and lightning conductor. So let's start, students. The aim of this lesson is to explain the causes and effects of lightning and to explain the purpose and working of lightning conductor. The keywords are lightning, electrical discharge, lightning conductor. The resources required are balloon, one fluorescent bulb, S1 and S2 of your volume book, science notebook and Exceed content book. Students, just think and try to answer this question. Which natural phenomena causes electrical sparks in the sky? Let's see. Lightning is a natural phenomena that is common around the world, especially in tropical regions, and this causes electrical sparks in the sky. So students, today we will identify how lightning occurs and some safety measures to protect ourselves from lightning. Turn off all lights in the room and pull down the window shades or draw the curtains so it is dark. Inflate the balloon and rub it on your hair for several seconds. Once the balloon becomes statically charged, hold it near the end of the fluorescent bulb. For performing this activity, you can pause the video. Now, after completion of this activity, resume the video again. Write your observations in your notebooks by answering the questions given below. Read the section Lightning Causes and Effects given in the Exceed content book to find out how lightning occurs. Also make a flow chart to summarize the process. What happens when balloon is rubbed with hair? And what happens when it is brought near the bulb? Students, you will be able to give the answer of these questions after performance of the activity. So pause your video for a while, perform the activity and try to answer these questions. Now let's see. What happened when the charged balloon was brought near the fluorescent bulb? How is this related to lightning? See, when the charged balloon was brought near the fluorescent bulb, electric charge traveled from the balloon to the bulb and lit it, causing small sparks. Lightning also works on this principle, as it is caused by an electrical discharge during the thunderstorm. An electric discharge is a spark between two differently charged objects. In case of lightning, the objects are the clouds. Now, how does lightning occur and how can lightning be harmful? So let's see, students. During a thunderstorm, air currents move upward and the water droplets move downward, forming electrical charges. Lighter water droplets acquire positive charge and move to upper regions of the cloud, while heavy droplets acquire a negative charge and they move to the lower region of the cloud. When the charges accumulate over a very short time span, they result in an electrical spark. This is known as electrical discharge. Now, the electrical discharge happens between the negatively charged base of the cloud and the positively charged objects which are present on the ground. And that is what we commonly see in the lightning. As lightning releases a large amount of energy, it can destroy an entire building or a tree which it strikes. Lightning mostly strikes the tallest buildings. Around 2000 deaths are caused by lightning every year around the world. Many more are injured by the lightning. Now, can electrical discharge only take place between the different charge on the cloud and the object on the ground? What other types of lightning can occur in nature? So let's find these answers. The different types of lightning that occur in nature are intra-cloud, cloud to cloud, and cloud to ground. So basically three types of lightnings are there. One is intra-cloud, that is within the cloud only. One is cloud to another cloud, and the third one is cloud to ground. Now let's see what happens in these three types. In cloud to ground lightning, negative charges from the cloud which are present at the base of the cloud, they travel to the positive charges objects present on the ground. In intra-cloud lightning, electrical discharge takes place between the positive and negative charges within the same cloud. As we already discussed, students, that in a cloud, the lighter water droplets will go up in the cloud and the heavy droplets come down. The heavy droplets are negatively charged and the lighter one are the positively charged. So within the similar cloud, if this happen, it is called intra-cloud lightning. While the third category is in cloud to cloud lightning, the positive and negative charges are in different clouds. Let's try to understand these three types of lightning by seeing this picture. Now you can see that the base of the cloud is having negatively charged particles because they are heavy water droplets, and the top of the cloud is having positively charged, which are the lighter water droplets. So if one cloud and another cloud get electrical discharge, it is called cloud to cloud. If electrical discharge takes place from cloud to ground, it is called cloud to ground one. And if it is taking place within the same cloud, it is called intra-cloud lightning. Now we are going to start the new topic, that is lightning conductor. So what is lightning and why it is important to protect ourselves from the lightning strikes? So as we already discussed, that lightning is a sudden and intense flow of electrical charges that happens during a thunderstorm. And it's very important to protect ourselves from the lightning strikes as they can cause serious injury or death. Now, what precautions can be taken indoors and outdoors if lightning is an electrical discharge? Then is it good idea to stay near a good conductor of electricity during a thunderstorm? So let's see, students. If indoors, we should avoid contact with water, stay away from doors and windows, and not use appliances such as telephones, computers, and televisions. But if outdoors, we should avoid open spaces, contact with water, trees, and metal objects such as electric wires and machinery. We should try to find shelter in a building or in a fully closed vehicle with the windows closed. If we cannot find shelters, we should crouch down low, balancing on the front part of the feet and cover ears to protect them from the loud thunder. We should stay away from good conductors of electricity during a thunderstorm. So these are some safety measures which we have to follow if there is a thunderstorm and if we are present outside or inside the house. Now, what device can keep our homes and buildings safe from lightning, and how does it work? So we can keep our homes and buildings safe by fitting them with a lightning rod or lightning conductor. And this is a pointed metal rod attached at the top of the elevated structures. Means the tall buildings generally have such type of lightning conductor, which connects to a huge piece of copper or aluminium wire. The wire is in turn connected to a conducting plate buried in the ground. If lightning hits the structure, it has struck the lightning conductor and the electric discharge passes to the ground through that wire instead of passing through the structure. And this prevents the building from the effect of lightning and keep us safe. Isn't it interesting? Now see the picture of lightning conductor. It is having a pointed rod. And how in the first picture we can see that how this lightning conductor is passing the electric discharges through them and the building becomes safe. Now the working of lightning conductor, again we can see during the thunderstorm, if lightning happens, then all the electric charges will be taken up by the lightning conductor, and through the long wire it will be sent to the ground without affecting the tall building. Now why do most tall buildings have lightning conductor? How can grounded fuse boxes protect small homes from the lightning? Tall structures are more at risk from lightning strikes, which is why they have lightning conductors. A home's electrical wiring is usually connected to the fuse box, thus grounding the fuse box is helpful as in the case of lightning strike. The electrical discharge can be directed to the ground through the wiring. So students, in this video we discussed about lightning, its causes and its effects. We saw there are three types of lightning. One is a intra-cloud lightning, another is a cloud-to-cloud lightning, and the third one is cloud-to-ground lightning. And these classification is based on the transfer of charge within the objects. We also discussed about one device, that is lightning conductor, that how it works and how it prevent the buildings or the elevated structures from the effect of lightning. So students, you have to finish your S1 and S2 of volume book based on today's video lecture, and you have to complete your practice questions from 1 to 6 from the Exceed content book. Thank you students. Have a great day.